All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jonathan from Trendy Trading. Let's go ahead and get started with our broad market analysis. The first thing we're going to do is start off with this week's earnings. Let's go ahead and take a look there. We're going to pull up right here. You can see Twitter. I use Earning Whispers. It's pretty straightforward. We have a lot of names on here that look interesting. A few that do stick out to me. Obviously, TripAdvisor. I'm definitely interested in that. And moving on down the list, we could see Plug, AMC, Upstart, Walt Disney, Oxy, all of them very interesting. Roblox, want to see that. The Trade Desk, very important as well. And then moving on here, there's just a lot of names. So you know what? We'll play them if we want. If not, not a big deal. But it should bring a little bit of volatility to the market. Let's go ahead and get started with our next U.S. Market Watch. I'd like to take a look at this free information that's out there on the internet. Just go to Market Watch, go to the economic reports and so forth, and you can look at the date and see what's coming up for this week. So the first thing is 7th on Monday. We have some consumer credit, Cleveland Fed president talks, Richmond Fed president talks, a lot of talk. Election day, big deal on the 8th, NFIB. I'm curious to see what happens out of this elections this year, see if we get some real volatility in the market. Wednesday the 9th, more people talking. Thursday the 10th, more people talking. Core CPI, one of the main events into this week, specifically also elections. All right. And then that's right, Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans, including myself. I served 21 years in the Air Force, and I have a lot of friends here that are here with us still today and some who are not with us. But anyone who has served, I just want to say thank you. Moving on down here, you can see many people speaking. So a lot of Feds talking, a lot of volatility, most likely. Elections coming in. To me, it's just another day in the market. Nothing's really changed that much, right? One thing I do want to show you is the fear and greed is coming in about 58. It's saying that we're greedy. Does anybody feel like we're greedy? Does anybody feel like we've taken too much money from the market? I didn't think so. I'm pretty sure this thing is broken. The next thing I want to show you, we are going to talk about the SPY and the QQQ like we typically do. All right, and we're going to give you the bigger picture. And then after that, I'm going to show you the neutral strategy. And remember, just go to my YouTube page, watch how I trade the neutral strategy. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. On here, on the bigger picture, we like to go into the monthly. All right, and I am using TradingView. And let's go ahead and go over the specific notes that I have for you. Give me just a minute while I look those up. All right, so for SPY, bigger picture, we're looking at inside and we don't know yet. So this candle here is inside. This one had pushed up for a few minutes. And because even if price moves over that threshold, it's only November the 6th and anything can happen until the end of the month, right? So for now, though, what I need you to remember is the threshold, 386.50. Why is that a big deal? Because if candle starts to push over 386.50, which is over the body of this candle, it looks bullish, and we would expect price then to push up into the top of this cloud here. Now, notice we have a 23 and a 38.2. Basically, what I did was I measured from last month's candle to the top of the current candle, and this is considered the bullish channel of the last 2 months. So what do you want to hold, bulls? You want to at least see 374.39 hold. Really quick though, let's go ahead and measure and find the 618, as I do believe that is very important. If we break the 618, then we break the trend from the last 2 months, and that number for you is 364.73. Now, up and to the left, we have monthly supply, inside and down formations, strong supply. Notice every time we get there, we start to ease off on the buying pressure and we move down. Above this cloud, we also have a quarterly supply zone that is very strong as well. Currently, we are in the cloud, and as long as price is in the cloud, expect it to be choppy. That is your SPY. Let's go ahead and take a look at QQQ, bigger picture. This is what we have, and these are the notes that I want to give to you. 268.80 is a key as this is around the inside and down. Okay, that's right. The QQQ is currently inside and down and under the cloud and under the 618. This is like miserable. This is the worst performance I've seen in a very long time. I mean, there are 3 indicators here telling me that this is a big turd. Okay, actually 4 now that I'm looking at it. White to red, not a good sign. Okay, where did you get 618 from, John? From the COVID low into the COVID high. So I call this the COVID rally. We broke the 618, that is the golden Fibonacci. When we break the golden Fibonacci, that means the area that I measured is now broken. The trend is no longer intact. Folks, you need above 270.31 bulls. This inside and down typically leads to further inside and down and could possibly see the 76.4, which is at or around 237.65. I would expect a bounce there if we do indeed get there. Bulls, you need above the 618, 270.31. We got to get this party started to the upside. But even if you get the party started to the upside, where do things really start to maybe possibly take off? That's right. It really needs to get going. So we're talking, upwards around 286, so another $16 from there before it really can even feel somewhat safe. And then guess what? Right when you get over 286, you have this huge pocket of supply here, which I know will be resistance until proven otherwise. So right now, folks, we are basically trying to get up from 2 very heavy buildings of supply that are just on top of price. All right. And this is us, what can push price through this type of supply? 2020, I would tell you, 2019, it'd be a tweet on Twitter, right? Now we have to look for everything is so negative. What would break us through this? Maybe elections, but I'm not too sure. Elections is just a catalyst. It's a catalyst that will push price from demand to supply. So let's just say that there is a positive catalyst out of this. Price pushes into the supply. I would still be cautious. It'd be a fun run. We'll have a good time, but just be cautious in these red boxes. Okay? Anything other than that, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Let's go ahead and reduce that. And let's get into the current. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up and let's get 11.6 on here. And there we are right there. All right, here's 11.622 on SPY. And then I'm going to go ahead and put Q on 11.622 as well. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so these are your new neutral strategies, folks. I got these both on a 4-hour. Please snapshot this, take a picture, okay? This is what this looks like. We have the neutral, okay? We know that the levels to the upside are resistance until proven otherwise. I'm looking to go long over the green lines and looking to go short underneath the red lines and trimming at targets below. Same thing to the upside. The upside, if we break above the green line, you're breaking above the cloud as well. That's a good sign. And it looks like we could move for a bit. Okay, so both sides are actually showing some equal risk to reward. I really like this. And if we break down below the red, then we're breaking down below the cloud and possibly move into 371, 368. And then we have some targets down here quite a distance away around 362, 365. Okay, again, please reach out if you have any questions. Like last week, we broke all levels to the downside. Okay, it never gave us an opportunity to go long. It never went over the top neutral. It broke down below the bottom neutral, and you're supposed to go short, and then you look for targets down below. That worked out very well. All right. All right, the next thing that I want to be looking at, I'm going to pull up TradingView, okay? And we're going to look at the dollar, which is going to be DXY. Okay, and we are getting the inside and down. So if you remember from last week, doing the broad market analysis, I noticed the topping wick. Topping wicks basically tell us that sellers are in control. Therefore, the dollar has went inside and down. Okay, very important. See this little alert I have over here? I believe that the dollar continues down as long as we stay under 112.259. Okay, now this chart itself is on a monthly, so it's early in the month. Anything can happen. It could go inside and up. But for right now, folks, what we've been looking for a long time after seeing this topping wick is that price is now going to make its way down, potentially into this cloud. These are going to catch up, and I do think the dollar could get a bounce from there. Overall, though, I do believe and think the dollar will come back to this inside and up formation here. That is my target for right now. Okay. Remember, DXY starts bidding up, starts to break above this level. Be cautious in the market to the upside, folks. TNX, let's go ahead and get over there to the Treasury and check them out. All right, so this thing is just gone wild. All right, spring break is early. They are partying. They are having a great time. And you can see this is a blueprint that I put together for quite some time ago. This is using also a monthly. We are extended quite a bit, but this is what they want. And, try not to fight it. It's above 3.99. Okay, that yellow level, it's at 4.15. This is definitely caution. If anything, we want it just to settle down and come in a little bit. Now, I put this here, all right, a while back, months ago. And in my head, I feel like we could see a capitulation event if we start to bid above 4.5. It's just something that's personal to me. I placed it there, and we'll see what happens if we indeed start to break above that level, okay? Next thing that I want to go over is going to be the skew. We're going to make this very painless. This thing has been telling me that this is a risk-on environment. I went into great detail over the last several weeks that I believe it's broken. I believe that the skew is broken. I believe that the fear and greed is broken. There's a lot of things that are broken right now, but going back, reading the charts, you can see, okay, you could see that the SPY over a period from about right now and for the next 90 days could be a huge mover to the upside, okay? Now, I had a question last week, well, what if it goes even lower and lower? Look, I'm only looking at the data that's provided to me, and what I can tell you is this red line here, when prices come down, it's just a matter of time that the SPY rips, okay? That's what I'm seeing. So this is a very important time for me. I'm very interested to see what will happen. I can't tell you what will happen. All I can tell you is that off of the probabilities and past performance, the SPY usually finds some really good buyers and we start to rip. Okay? All right, so the next thing I want to look at is actually the VIX. All right, so let's take a look at the VIX. Now, I use my trendy edges and supply and demand in this as well. And it actually works really, really well. I'm going to come over here to weekly though. All right, and you can see that we came up into, I believe I have my edges turned off. Give me 1 second. All right, let's turn those bad boys back on. You can see we came up into the trendy edge. Every time we come up into the trendy edge and everyone else is fearful, we're actually looking for the volatility to break down. All right, then we start to actually feel bullish. So notice that volatility is breaking down. Matter of fact, need price to stay below here. I put this up several months ago. We're back below it. This right here tells me that the market could continue kind of chopping around and moving up. It's just going to be volatile. Now, where in the world could volatility really take off again? I'm going to go ahead and say, folks, that we could get a really big pop if we move down. I look at it just like a stock, okay? These levels work. Stocks, it works on the volatility index. It works on Forex. It works on futures. And what I'm looking at here is if potentially we find bids down here around 23, 26, and then at this gap fill down here at around 21. All right, so if everything seems good, but we get down to 21 to possibly 19, definitely take caution. It'd just be a matter of time before we get a little bit more volatility into the market. Okay. So that is the VIX. All right. So for my future traders, okay, we know I've already set up future trades tonight. And we can come over here, open this up. And if you wanted to, and I teach people how to create your chart like this, and I highly recommend it if you don't know how to do it. And what I'm talking about is how I have this area right here. Okay, see that? So I have 4 charts here, and all I have to do is just hit these arrows and click to the multiple time frames. Okay, and my favorite time frames, there's a bunch of them, but my go-to is going to be the week, daily, 4-hour, and then a 5-minute most of the time. And we'll start here on the ES futures on the weekly. Let's go ahead and find that. And I just annotated some stuff, if you would. And what we have going on here is an inside and up formation. This is going to be support demand for right now. I have support right here at around 37 to 15. This is a inside and down. We gap down for now. All right, and so it is not safe. We have the trendy edge right here, this blue level. If you take your cursor and just kind of come up here, guys, you're gonna see it's around 37.82. Prices need over 37.82, but like every chart that I'm showing you, it's like one thing after another. There's a line in front of it. Man, that line's resistance. Then there's a cloud, that's resistance. Then there's supply. Then there's the top of the cloud. There's so much supply above us, folks. It's an issue for bulls. All right. But let's see what the elections can do. All right, I'm really, really interested. But the pure technicals, resistance until proven otherwise, sideways to down, is my overall sentiment until they can prove things differently. And obviously, I'll be coaching you every day and giving you the fastest updated coaching that I can. So I'll be swinging through all kinds of different time frames to give you that information, okay? All right, let's go on to the daily. Now, the daily, I like to basically give you guys a trigger long, short, and resistance levels. And then you know that I coach around them. All right, so for example, I believe this was the short from last week. But for right now, this is resistance. It's the trendy edge. And we know that even if we pop here, say we pop here tomorrow morning, we go from red to green, that wouldn't surprise me. You know, I'm not excited because what I understand is pajama traders like ourselves, we're able to take the advantage of the move and we push price right into resistance so that when the majority of retail traders are waking up and their eyes are opening and they're excited to trade what they see as a green day. But we know that we just push price right into resistance and guess what? They bite the bait, then it comes right back in, right? So we need an over under, and really, I'm going to tell you right now, for the entire week, this level right here will be your over under, this 37.82, okay? We need to break price and hold price above there, I would say at least 2 to 3 days before you start to feel excited. The overhead supply is this inside and down formation. Looks like a wide box, but I think we could push into the wide box at least up into 38.74. On the way down, if for some reason we do break the trendy edge here, this pink dotted line, that is support for now. If we break that, we could see prices come down to 36.76 and possibly down here at 36.42 and so forth. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the 4 hour. Now the 4 hour itself, I found some 30-minute zones. Okay, and you guys can see I annotated those. They're pretty easy to find if you just go to a 30-minute. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's see, 30-minute, 30 days, that's fine. And I want to show you what those look like so that anyone that is learning from my YouTube page, I want to point that out to you. So we have an inside and down here, so you can have a zone there. We have an inside and down here. There's a zone. But understand this is the major zone. Price came down into demand. It then pushed up. It hit supply. It moved down. We gapped down, and now we're moving back up towards that supply. And the question is, will the supply be supply? If we open up here tomorrow morning, please take caution. Okay? If you don't know how to trade this, I recommend you come and hang out with us. Spend $5, get a whole 7 days. Let me coach you and teach you how we trade this. Okay? All right. And then you guys know for the 5 minutes, okay, we use what's called the PMZ, okay? And we can find that over here as well. If the PMZ is above price, we look to short it. If price is above the PMZ, we look to go long. And let me go ahead and pull that up really quick. Like that. And let's go to 5 minute. Yeah, auto. All right, so yep, there you go. So you should be getting your first short if you're a member here. You guys know that. So this is resistance until proven otherwise, that yellow box. Notice that price came right up to the yellow box and faded. So I know some of you guys are trading this 377.3 into about 3768. It's not crazy. It's 5 points so far. Not a bad short. If we get up and over, looking to go long and looking to trim around 81 to 82 and a half around that trendy edge, folks. Okay. Cloud is support until proven otherwise. Okay. All right. So same thing over here on the NASDAQ. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what it's doing. And you can see it's almost quite there. It's not quite there, sorry. Not quite there. So again, and this one, if we happen to break over, be careful. The strategy says to go long over this. Just be careful because we do have the inside and down here. You may get a couple points. It doesn't look like a whole lot to me, just less than about 20. You have these pivot highs. We need bulls need to make a new pivot high above probably 10,920. Okay. So that would definitely be something of interest if they can get over that new pivot high there. All right, but for right now, this yellow box is resistance until proven otherwise. Let's go ahead and minimize that. We're going to put the NASDAQ over here. And then when I'm finished with this, I'll give you my overall sentiment. All right, and let's go to auto. All right, so this is what we have going on. Okay. And I apologize for the lines. It's come up here to the week. And this is what I have so far. I just pointed out what I think is important, okay? So we're in a channel, and you need to understand as long as we're in a channel and they open us in this channel, you want to be getting long lower on the channel, okay? You would caution in the mid, and then you want to be getting short on the upper end of the channel. Very straightforward, folks. Probably my go-to, okay? You don't have to make this too complicated. I have edges in there to help us on entry and targets and stuff like that. But the bigger picture, we're just in a channel, okay? That's the weekly for me, all right? Sorry, that's the daily that's on there right now. And that's what the weekly looks like. Okay, so daily. And then same thing, we go over here, 30-minute is what I was showing on here. You guys can see we have the same stuff going on here. Inside and down formations. This is resistance until proven otherwise. If you want to throw some lines in there, it looks like this. If we can break above, get in there and touch that gap fill around 10,870, I do believe that we can work our way up into 10,892 and 10,915. My overall sentiment going into this week, look, lots of people jabbering, talking, doing their thing. They're going to cause volatility. We do have elections coming in. I'm not sure how things are going to move off of that. But if there's one thing I'm going to tell you is news is a catalyst, right? That moves price from demand to supply. We just trade price. We find our levels. We have a process for that. I cannot wait to trade with you guys. I know Melissa can't wait to trade with you guys. We are pumped, ready to go. And I'll see you in the morning, 30 minutes before we start. If you have any questions, please reach out to me.